Why not? We're frozen. You miss a serve here, it doesn't hurt you.
And he does indeed miss the serve. I'm surprised. I'm not sure why he didn't use the jump serve. He's got a great one.
I think he should have. Coca-Cola's not been passing the ball well. Continue to put the pressure on him. Serve tough.
Ludi's, and so far, Ricky Ludi's has done a terrific job in running his team. Of course, Ludi's, you know, when he was on the USA national team, they couldn't figure out what to do with him. He's so big and strong. He was a middle blocker. He was an outside hitter. He was a setter. He got his gold medal, though, in '88 and played well.
The victim of specialization. He did everything very well, but nothing great.
Reed Sunahara gets the stuff. Another point, 28-23. Boy, we got to add up the blocks here. Salmons has 3. That's 7 team stuff blocks for Foot Locker. So they're about to close this one up. Buck, and Buck puts it away. Craig Buck on the left side.
You don't see Craig Buck hit high on the outside very often, but there you see the wall that everybody has to go up against every time, particularly when the ball is set high to the outside. 3 big blockers. That's what you're going to see in Team Cup.
First bad pass for Foot Locker. Let's see how they handle it. Not well. They free ball it over. Coke looking for a point. And Buck, nicely done. Dinking off Ludi, Salmons, and Duke.
Lots of hands up there, but they're all big and drooling and way over the net. Craig Buck may be 6'8", but you got to be careful when you hit against that big a block.
Left side, Williams. Nice dig, looking for a point. Dodd. 28-24. Foot Locker.
Ludi's asking for the ball and getting it. Well, he looks fired up and playing very well.
Did not get a chance to compete in the recent King of the Beach because of that injured foot, but he looked okay now, Paul, a week later.
Well, he struggled off and on this pro beach season, and he and Adam Johnson split up as partners. I still think they should get back together. I think that would be the best possible matchup for either one of them, but Ricky Ludi's did have some success later on with Brent Frohoff, winning a big money tournament up in Santa Cruz.
It was a good set there. Javier Gaspar whipping it to Buck. Left side, Sunahara over the top and out. And suddenly, Coca-Cola creeping here. 28-25 as Coke closing in.
Remember, we're playing to 30. The score is frozen at 27. Now it's straight side-out volleyball.
Left side.
That's tight set.
And Sunahara had no choice because Craig Buck was all over that. If he hits it in, it's stuffed back in his face.
Good choice by Craig Buck here to come and put himself against Reed Sunahara. Going to have Timmons and Dodd block against Salmons in the middle. Got to watch for the dump here.
Coming back over, and 3 Coca-Cola cans into the net.
Well, the lift top just got stuck. You know, if they had those old removable kind, but got to recycle.
Jeff Williams serving. His team ahead by 2. 28-26. Oh, it hit. Did it hit him? No, it didn't.
No, the ball's out of bounds.
Boy, it almost hit Alan Allen. 4th service error for Foot Locker. And Eric Sada. Steve Salmons, the server. And sneaking it off the hands. Back to live action, 28-26, and Alan Allen into the antenna point. A couple of these players, and one of them would be Alan Allen, probably never faced a 3-man block on every spike he goes at. It's one of the things of having that Team Cup experience. Now, it is game point number 1. Bexay, Timmons, and it's out of bounds, and Foot Locker surprisingly takes game 1. All the way, Foot Locker walking on top of Coca-Cola. Game 1 goes to them. We'll be back. Game 2 after this. Back at the Great Western Forum, Inglewood, California. Match 1 is over. Foot Locker surprising Coca-Cola 30-26. Chris Marlowe back with Paul Sunderland. You take 6 Bruins, add in 2 Trojans, give them a UCLA coach, Denny Klein, and they have organization and blocking playing very, very well so far.
Surprisingly, a very good winning combination. Ricky Ludi's to Tom Duke established the side-out cohesiveness early, and then the blocking of Steve Salmons. He has been spectacular. Reed Sunahara struggled offensively late, but they've been blocking. Williams, Adam Johnson passing the ball. They look very, very good, and Coca-Cola struggling with their ball control.
Coca-Cola made a run. They ran off off 5 in a row, but couldn't keep up. If you look at the stats, Foot Locker ahead in kills. Surprisingly, Coke did come back with 5 blocks.
Came back with 5 blocks, but need to pick that up considerably. Remember, they have Steve Timmons, Craig Buck, Foot Locker doing the much better job. Defensively, you might expect that with Eric Sato. Service aces, none for either team. I think once the score is frozen, these teams need to get a lot more aggressive in serving the ball. Hitting errors, crummy for both teams, 12 apiece. That's just a lot of players getting off the beach and coming back indoors, getting their hard court legs and making some mistakes. This is where the national team players, see Javier Gaspar right there with the goggles on, had some eye injuries. He's training with the national team. You've got Alan Allen on the Coca-Cola team. They're indoors every day. They need to make the consistent play that well-trained, consistently trained indoor players need to make.
Javier Gaspar, a big star at Penn State, perhaps the greatest player that Penn State has ever had. 38 different all-tournament teams, the NCAA 1987 NCAA Final Four. Of course, that's in volleyball. Penn State with some pretty good players in basketball and certainly in football. So Hav will serve. It'll be a very disappointing experience for him to not make the Olympic team. He's been with them for quite some time. But Dan Greenbaum, we'll see him a little later, and maybe we can judge Greenbaum against Gaspar.
Be something to watch for in this Team Cup season.
A couple of guys need to make a point. One of the guys that is playing very, very well is Jeff Williams. He led Foot Locker in game 1 with 6 kills. And Gaspar will serve. Mike Dodd up front, coming off a tremendous performance at King of the Beach. He would tell you he carried Karch Karai to the King Crown. 8-1. And there is Sato. Left side, Sato smacking. Not yet. Buck, yeah! Did he touch the net? Yeah. He did.
Yeah, almost tore it down actually on the follow-through. Good looking play until that point in time. Made the right decision. Eric Sato ripping cross court. Here comes the dig. And there's the follow-through. Big number 7 to the top of the tape.
Jeff Williams with the serve. And Johnson digs Dodd. Chance for a point. So far, there hasn't been much confusion about who's eligible in the front line. Usually we see that a lot, Paul. You know, you set a guy that's not eligible and he has to dink it over.
We used to see that certainly in the first couple of years, but now you have some real Team Cup veterans, players who've been out here for 4 or 5 years, maybe playing with different all-stars, but playing in the same rules system and very much used to communicating about those changes.
Nice play. Little pinball defense. Sato and Gaspar. That was Salmons. It's going to be 4 contacts, however. Even in Team Cup volleyball, you can't do that.
That's a great play. Great play by Steve Salmons. Known for his blocking, then his hitting. But making the pancake play. Ping pong, pinball defense, and Steve Salmons at the end of it, but with a violation.
So Craig Buck to serve. Buck also involved in the recently concluded Legends of Volleyball, playing against the U.S. Olympic team. And he played very, very well, as did Eric Sato playing for the U.S. Olympic team. And Steve Salmons crucifies one straight down.
You get the overdig, the overpass. You got to score on that. That's when you can stretch your stuff, hammer the ball straight down, look for the nearest camera, smile, get a little TV time.
A look at the Coca-Cola bench. Dave Saunders and Alan Knipe, a tremendous player from Long Beach State. He has a broken thumb. He can't play, so there's nobody to come in for Coca-Cola, so no refills. You know what I'm saying?
They're on the diet routine right now. Actually, it's his pinky.
What did I say, thumb?
You said his thumb.
I said his thumb.
You got your thumb stuck in your mouth, but it was his pinky and broken pretty badly. He's going to get the cast off, and we'll see him in the next couple of weeks in Team Cup. But he is a fine player, I think, with a bright future on the national team as well as on the beach.
You get down to the national team, you have to keep your hands closed because everybody down there hits the ball about 20 miles an hour harder than they do in college. Let's go over to the other bench. Team Foot Locker, they have one fine reserve, Roger Clark, who can play ball. Sitting right next to Dennis Klein and Peter Ashley. Clark, he's kind of hidden behind that linesman, but he can play ball. Alan Allen, and so far the A-bomb has been ineffective. They've neutralized him.
Well, right now, Javier Gaspar's not given Alan Allen the good kind of set. Alan Allen needs the ball wider and I think a little bit higher, and they're playing together every day. I'm surprised at that mistake.
Question, whose mistake is it?
It's the setters.
Okay.
It's always a setter's fault, especially when you're a hitter. Eric Sato cannot chase that high flat shot down. But clearly the low set to the outside is hurting Coca-Cola right now in siding out.
6 kills for A.J. Adam Johnson. Fabulous tennis player when he was young. Also a very good golfer, football player, and now volleyball star. Timmons. And a bing defense.
Good free ball pass.
Gaspard to Dodd, another dig. That was Williams.
No.
And did they get it? Could have been off the top. Yes, it was. Team Foot Locker. Bobby Clark saying point. Once again, we're in the rally scoring point per play mold.
Absolutely a touch on this. Allen sweeping outside in, touch on the play, side out over to Foot Locker.
So Foot Locker takes or gets this timeout. It's 6-4. Foot Locker has the lead. Take one more look.
Foot Locker's been having trouble siding out, needs every break they can get. Again, there's the perfect example. These are some of the best players in the United States using the end blocker down the line. It's a shot you absolutely have to have in your repertoire.
You know, Paul, everybody knows the impact of the ABP on beach volleyball, but I really think the ABVL, the 4-man volleyball league, has really given a number of other players a chance to develop. Tom Duke, Jeff Williams, Mark Miller, all guys that couldn't quite play on the AVP tour. Now they're playing in the 4-man tour. They've become big stars. They have their own television contract, and they're doing well. A lot of good competition there.
Well, and it gives the Olympic players a chance to go out on the beach. They don't have the time really in their schedules to go out and play.
Great play by Allen. Get back to that in just 1 second. Allen, a spectacular play. And inside the block, Adam Johnson finally puts it away.
Easier ball goes down, but not only a great play, but focus and effort and pursuit by Allen to keep the ball in play.
5 points in a row for Foot Locker. Take one more look. Watch Allen just scamper
out of the play
here.
right now. Look how far away he is. He's frozen right there. We don't get a chance to see him chase, but he's stuck on the center line, pursues and gets that ball back up.
There's Allen in that takeoff zone. One of the strongest, muscly players you will ever see. They said he did 600 pounds on the Hawaii leg sled, which is used for mostly football players at the University of Hawaii. The strongest guy they had over there. Volleyball, football, basketball, anything. And inside the block.
We got to get Allen some shorter shorts, because these long Bermuda styles don't do his thighs justice. Bill Neville was telling me a great story. They're getting ready to play the Soviets, and they're in the locker room, and it's dead silent, and all you hear is rip like that. And Allen had on his shorts, and he did a squat and just blew out both sides of him. His thighs are so big. And Nev said, "A-bomb, I guess you're ready."
9-5 is our score. So far, hitting errors plaguing Coca-Cola, 16 so far. And we're just about a third of the way through game 2 as Timmons snaps it down. Steve Timmons, let's check his stats. 7 kills. He's got a couple of blocks.
You can tell he's not 100% and playing through it. Played right through it, obviously, at the Olympic Games, but playing through that discomfort now is very, very frustrating for an athlete that's accomplished everything that Steve has to come out and not be able to play at 100%, but he's here.
Tom Duke drilling one downtown. There's a timeout on the floor. We're coming back. Foot Locker ahead by 4, 10-6. And Paul Sunderland back at the Great Western Forum, the first night of Great Western Teen Cup Volleyball. October 2nd, we will also play Friday, October 9th, Thursday, October 22nd, and Sunday, October 25th. This is game 2. The team in blue, Foot Locker, drilling Team Coca-Cola right now. What's wrong with Coke?
Not getting it done in terms of side out. Really have to hand it to Foot Locker. They're scrambling. They're blocking the ball tremendously. And I just think Coca-Cola playing pretty uninspired right now. Got to play harder.
Jeff Williams off the hands. Now, that's a weird play. You have Allen and Javier Gaspar, two of the 3 smallest players on Coca-Cola, and they're blocking.
Exactly.
They're disorganized.
Exactly my point. But that takes leadership and effort from Craig Buck, Steve Timmons, Mike Dodd to get up to the net and throw those little guys in the back court where they belong.
Keep in mind, in Team Cup volleyball, anybody can block, so you can send 6 of your gargantuans up there if you have 6. And we've seen 5-man blocks. Yep. It's normal to block with 4, and that's exactly what Foot Locker does. Tom Duke will run right to the net. He's not going to stay in the backcourt. Here he comes. You see him right in the middle of your screen. And Allen, who's warmed up. Interestingly, they moved him into the middle. They're setting him a little quicker. They've got him off the left.
Got him off the left side, and I think this is a good move. Javier Gaspar, excellent flashy set back over his head. Adam Johnson late with a defensive move.
I think one of the problems that Coca-Cola has, they don't have anybody that can hit on the left.
On the left side, exactly right. I think they hoped that Allen would be their man from the left side, but he has not hit against 3 big behemoths in every rotation yet.
Jeff Williams, slap shot by Ludes, going to Eric Sato. And Gaspar flying, and he puts it away. So the former Nittany Lion chews on one, and Coca-Cola gets just their 8th point.
Need a little spark. Keep digging the ball, hang in, but the way to get it rolling is to block the ball.
And Jeff Williams, I believe, into the net.
Ball set too tight to the net. Really the first setting mistake that Ricky Ludes has made. He's looked very impressive at the controls for Foot Locker.
Do you have Allen play defense or block? Now they've got 3 defensive players. That's interesting. A complete different style. Foot Locker with 4 players blocking, 2 digging. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, you got to block with 4, because look at who's in the back court. You got Eric Sato, who's the best, I think, and Javier Gaspar, who's very quick as well. You block with 4 guys in every rotation.
Buck is blocked by Sunahara, and they're trying to move Buck around and get him away. Big Reed, he's 6'4", 200. They list him at 225. He is a weightlifting fanatic. Loves it. He and Ludes go into the gym, and they don't come out until it's party time at about 9 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Yeah. You see him down at the beach, and their muscles, I mean, unbelievable. Give Sato the ball, and just missed us down here on the floor. 13-10. Now 14 as Foot Locker gets the ball at Javier Gaspar. Why do you suppose he wears those
well, he's took a finger in the eye, I believe, and that's permanent. It's an injury that he has to the eye.
Really?
He has to wear those glasses as protective caution against getting poked again.
Pretty hard to get poked in the eye as a volleyball player. You see it a lot in basketball as guys are trying to stab at you. Might be a fashion statement. He looks pretty good at it. You don't see a lot of players wearing sunglasses indoors.
Well, they got those clear lenses. I think my explanation's a little closer to the truth.
Okay, ball. Left side, Sunahara. And Reed Sunahara's looked very, very good for Team Foot Locker.
Knows his role.
11.
Reed Sunahara knows his role, not trying to do too much, coming out, getting a kill when he gets his opportunity, putting the ball away high flat.
Let's once again tell you, if you win this match, you receive $725 a man. Losers get $450 a man. And Timmons tops off one.
This is what Steve Timmons looks like when he's 100%. Can you see how he landed, how gingerly he landed?
Yeah.
And not 100%. That's what you would see each and every time if Steve were hitting on all pistons.
Good serve by Sato. He's got Foot Locker guys all over the place. Gaspar.
Good set to the outside. Very nice rhythm to that play. Steve Timmons attacking in the middle, and then Allen out on the left side, right over the top of him. So, see Allen right there, excuse me, Chris, asking for more altitude, a little more loopy to the ball.
Eric Sato as they wipe up the floor. Will Sato stay with the national team through '96?
He's getting married in December. Just told me. I met his fiancée in the lounge before the match.
How's she look?
And good. Okay, good. They've been together since high school. I think they've known each other for a long time. And as someone who just recently got married, you should be taking this a lot more seriously with more respect for the institution. But to answer your question, unfortunately, a player like Eric doesn't have all the options to go play in Europe. But he could go out and play on the AVP tour. He could go play on the 4-man tour, and I think be very, very effective and entertaining.
Are you surprised he hasn't been on the 2-man tour? Can he play two-man? He can play, can he?
He can play, but his commitment to the Olympics, at least since he rejoined the team about 18 months ago, have precluded that. I think he could be an effective player out on the Pro Beach Tour, no doubt about it. Get him out there on the AVP Tour with a Mike Whitmarsh up at the net blocking and Eric Sato back there playing defense and jump serving. I think he could do well.
Mike Dodd will serve. 16-14 is our score. Coke needs to win this game to send it to 3. Dodd with a dig. And Johnson with the dig. Nicely done. And the Duke of downtown roundhouses it into the VIPs.
Got to keep that ball in play. Yeah, it's not really Tom Duke's fault that the set was behind his head or too low or in a bad location, but don't hit the ball out of bounds.
Now you tell him. Ludes and Duke. You know, as great as Tom Duke has been, he was most valuable player in the 4-man, but he has been prone to be erratic, and he can make some hitting errors.
He makes the bonehead play look sometimes normal. He just makes mistakes in a row at times.
16-16, we are tied in game 2. Foot Locker won game 1. Did it fairly easily, 30-26. Point per play scoring in Team Cup volleyball as Adam Johnson serves. Off the hands, Allen really warming up now. Let's check the A-bomb here. He's got 8 kills so far.
Can hit on the left when he has to. The game tied now at 17, but Allen much more effective when he's on the right.
Ludes with the slam jam. So Ricky Ludes puts it away.
That's a big man at the setting position. 5 kills, most of them from the dump variety. We just mean taking the pass near the net, dumping it straight down.
Buck shoulders it over. Now whip it left side to Jeff Williams. He's dug. Sato, great set.
Got to hit that ball.
Jeff Williams, Gaspar.
Jeff Williams is way under the net here. Very lucky we did not have an injury. Way under the net. That's a throw by Jeff Williams right there. And Javier Gaspar, very quick. That's exactly why Coca-Cola should be blocking with 4 and playing defense with 2. Sato and Gaspar in the backcourt.
Allen, who joined the USA team back in 1989. Another block. Coca-Cola now has a lead.
For the first time, I think, in this match.
19-18, and Allen doing it with his serve, putting him in trouble. And they are blocking with 4 now, Paul. Timmons with the dive. Allen. And he can't get it to go. Side out. And a point, of course. Don't forget, we've got another big match coming up for you. Paul Mitchell and Toyota in the featured match. We're tied at 19. Ludes going to charge the net.
Good pass.
And through the block goes old number 69, Eric Sato. Timeout is called, and Coca-Cola looking much better than they did in game 1. Coke has the lead when we return to the Great Western Forum. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. Great Western Bank Team Cup volleyball. You're looking at the Foot Locker huddle. Foot Locker won game 1 easily. Coke here in game 2 got its first lead at 4-3 and now has snuck another one by 20-19. Point per play scoring up to 27. Then you have to serve to score a point. Foot Locker in blue has been very good, but Coke now starting to get a little more organized. They took my partner Paul Sunderland's advice. Now they got 4 big reds up at the front line. 2 keys. I think Foot Locker came out a little bit overconfident. They won game 1 easily. They've lost a little bit of the hustle, a little bit of the passing concentration they had in game 1. And absolutely, Allen's played better blocking the ball there, and Coke is starting to pick it up. Sunahara, nice shot. Beautifully done off the hands of Dodd and Buck. Sunahara now, let's check him out. 4 kills.
Not going to put up big numbers offensively, but not going to hurt you, and going to block and play the total game out there for you.
Good pass. On the play action, they go to Mike Dodd, and he sneaks one through. You were telling me an interesting stat about Mike Dodd and the AVP earlier.
Well, with his winnings at the King of the Beach, he moved up to #4 this year in terms of total prize money.
That's unbelievable.
That's got to be the comeback year of all time on the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. A lot of people had him dead, buried.
Yeah, you got him mad because you said he was washed up. And then he got real mad, and he came out.
Those were not the words I used. I said that I thought he was going to retire at the end of the 92 season.
What's that?
Well, it's hardly washed up.
Well,
stop putting words in my mouth. Anyway.
Well, what do you think retiring is?
I'm glad that he had a great year. Yeah. And obviously he's more glad than I am because he made a ton of money if he finished 4th on the AVP money ranking.
Coca-Cola, X-play, Sato with the drive, nicely done.
Eric Sato getting some front court action here with the injury to Alan Knipe and filling in nicely, hammering through the hole.
Ludes, dish it left side. And Buck sneaks it through. So experienced, a real vet.
Played in over 700 international matches.
Is that it? Ludes wide open. Nice play by Timmons, but he can't make the save backhand.
I tell you, Timmons in terrible position blocking wise, but just showing you the experience. Never ever give up on the ball. Just get your hands back to the net. You get a touch and good things will happen.
Good pass.
Coke's passing the ball a lot better now.
And the results.
Had trouble early. Eric Sato, Alan Allen, Mike Dodd passing the ball right on the dime. 24-22, Coke leading. Mike Dodd back to serve. Probably going to stay back and play defense from the distance he is behind the service line.
And he is. Oh, Sato with the flopperoo, can't get there.
One of the few balls you'll see Eric Sato in the neighborhood of that's still in the building and not get to. But Ricky Ludes again with a very effective throw down on the tip.
So 8J will have it in terms of money won this year for Johnson at the end of the season, not including the King of the Beach, $128,858.75.
And King of the Beach did not have a very successful performance last year. Made it to the Final Four. This year did not get out of pool play.
25-23 Coke. Best 2 out of 3. Foot Locker in blue won the first game.
Good pass.
But Buck is right there. He's hovering. He's waiting, looking for the stuff. Not yet. Sato. There's the dish. Alan Allen. Back over. Sato. Boy, does he have sweet hands.
That's a bad set. Alan Allen on his backside paying the price for that ball set wide.
Buck.
Nobody to hit.
Gaspar. Little joust there. Gaspar is good at that. I told you setters were good at that. Oh, and Alan Allen puts it off Williams into the scoreboard. Point to Coca-Cola.
We've got a beautiful new scoreboard at the Great Western Forum, but it hangs a little bit lower than last year. The players got to make that adjustment. Smart play by Javier Gaspar. Getting up to the net in time. Anybody can block, keeping the ball alive for Coca-Cola.
26-23. Coke by 3. Steve Timmons not going back to Italy this year. Going to display his talents in the United States, one way or the other. Poke back over, 4-man block for Coke, getting ready. Nice shot. Tom Duke. Boy, he's got like a double jointed shoulder, doesn't he? He hit that behind
that one went behind his ear, I think. Absolutely.
On the left side.
You know, Duke has got a lot of physical ability. Very quick. You've got to keep his head in the game, limit his mistakes, and he can be very effective.
The dig is by Williams. And did he get a touch? Williams said he got one. I thought he did. No, yeah, they're not going to give it to him. It's a point.
Micro touch, but players don't, you know, they don't beg for it. Willie's not a beggar. He's not going to ask out there and plead to the referees unless he was sure he got a touch.
27-24. Williams may start begging if he can't get one by pretty soon. Fine. Jeff Williams puts it through.
Begging and hoping are two different things. Jeff Williams, an excellent outside hitter for UCLA, and now out on the beach, doing a good job ripping the ball down the line.
Left side, Sato Hit Sato in the leg. Ricky Ludi's all over that. This is the bad rotation for Coca-Cola.
This is a tough matchup. They need a perfect pass, get Javier Gaspar into the dumping mode just a little bit.
Buck. Foot Locker running it down. Buck is on the left. Nope, they'll give it to Sato. It's going to be 4 contacts. 4 contact. Buck was not considered a blocker. Went off him first. He was on the ground. He's considered a digger.
Salmons with the touch. Adam Johnson, excellent pursuit once again. You know, first night of Team Cup volleyball, everybody's warming up to it in terms of defensive play. You got Eric Sato, Alan Allen hustling all over the place, setting the tone.
So the 4th contact, the ball will go to Foot Locker. We are tied at 27, so now each team needs to serve to score a point. Right side, Sato coming all the way around the horn, and he is blocked.
I don't think that's a great play. Setting Eric Sato not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row when your team's in the lead, the game on the line. Eric Sato, a great athlete, but hitting against a big wall.
X to Sato, and he puts it through. You know what worked perfectly? There are about 8 guys jumping on Buck. You said a double pump or some kind of just a little delay, and Buck would be wide open.
Just a pogo stick. You want the temptation to the blockers. You fake. It's the head fake in basketball as if you're going to go, and then the little delay to Craig Buck. Indeed, the blocker's going with him.
Foot Locker by 1.
Tight set.
Bad set. And dribbling it off the hand. No touch on that one. Point to Coke. So a good one. Game 2, match 1, Coca-Cola and Foot Locker going at each other in Great Western Team Cup volleyball. Williams getting it through. Jeff Williams, of course, teamed with Ozzy Volstad, the great Norwegian volleyball player at UCLA, to win that championship back in '87. 10 kills.
That's a big match for Jeff Williams. And as a hitter, he drifts to his right and then chops the ball back across his body. You have to be very disciplined, press into the court as you face Jeff Williams as a blocker.
And he serves it out. Won't hurt him, though. And Coca-Cola will have it. So Craig Buck, best server in the world in 1986. See if he can block one here. Along with Timmons, they got a touch. Sato to the A-bomb. Can he detonate? Yes!
Just sneaks it through. Javier Gaspar, not great control on the tomahawk, digging the ball away from his teammates, but Eric Sato athletic enough to get the ball in the neighborhood of the A-bomb for the kill.
Timeout taken by Foot Locker, and Dave Saunders has seen his Coke team get to within 1 point. Dennis Klein, his first national championship for UCLA back in 1974. He won 3, 74, 75, and 76.
One of the great screamers of all time. You'd never know it off the court, but on the court, Denny was there for only one purpose, and that was to compete and win.
Was Al Skates' #1 assistant for many years, then replaced by Greg Giovinazzi, who is now at the University of Michigan.
And doing very well in the Big Ten. If I'm not mistaken, Michigan is now 10-2 and off to one of the best starts they've ever had.
Foot Locker up against it here, though. Craig Buck serving. Coca-Cola has game point here in game 2. AJ. Off the head, Allen. Yeah, there it is.
Looking for it on the roundhouse.
Johnson and Coke put it away right here.
To nobody.
Buck was not an eligible hitter. Boy, that could cost Coke. And Foot Locker gets the side out. So that's a setting mistake there. Gaspar set the wrong guy, but it is easy to be confused sometimes as to who's in the front line.
Javier Gaspar's responsibility to remember, but for game point, you've got to scream out, hey, I'm in, I'm front court.
Yeah, or don't set me. Don't set me. Don't set me.
You got to be screaming out there on game point. Can't be silent.
Steve Timmons thunks one through. Vintage Steve Timmons coming in on the quick.
Warming it up a little bit. That Achilles getting loose now. I know he's been doing lots of rehab. Wants to get out on the beach next year. He's got a lot of volleyball still left in that big body.
Achilles is loose and Homer is hit. Sato trying to wrap it up here for Coke. Williams. Pancake. Allen pancake. but nobody else there. Buck had the block, and Jeff Williams, boy, it came out clean, but it was karate coming back.
Look at this. Eric Sato on it. Allen unable to make the play in terms of the chase. So twice in a row, Coca-Cola's had a chance to end this game, but unable to convert.
We will have to check, but I believe it is win by 2, is it not, Paul? So Foot Locker trying to tie it up right here, and Reed Sunahara telling the linesman, watch me go up here and stuff one.
And it is win by 2.
Yes.
We're in side out scoring right now, and it is win by 2.
Didn't I say that?
You asked me.
Win by 2.
And now I'm getting to the answer.
Yeah. You said yes, didn't you? Yes. Okay. Now I've got it. Third game point for Coca-Cola. In the last year, we have gone through so many formats and so many tournaments and so many different movements as Coke trying to put it away. They could do it right here. Who do they set? Timmons for the game. No, not yet. It's Foot Locker fights it off again.
I don't know if they fought that one off. Another mistake, unforced error against Steve Timmons, trying to get his feet moving on the left side to jump high and hit hard, hit it long.
Buck calling an audible here. Let's see if Gaspar goes to him. Nope, they go to Timmons. Very interesting talking to head coach Fred Sturm at the Olympics. You and I both suggested, hey, why don't you move Bob Severlick over to the right? He's better on the right and have Timmons hit quick. And he said, well, Chris, who do we have to hit the left? Who do you suggest we put over there, Sunderland or what? Another chance for the game here. Oh, Williams. Boy, does he look good. Really improved. 12 kills for Jeff Williams.
A name you don't hear an awful lot. Plays out on the ABVL, the 4-man Pro Beach circuit. Been out of it indoors really since he left UCLA. Played at a tryout with the national team for a short period of time.
Blocked, and we're tied up. So Coca-Cola had 4 chances to put away this game. Now we are tied, win by 2. Great blocking.
You let chances by the board. Look at that. Not 1 try, but 2. You got the big block again for Foot Locker coming through.
Allen with the snap. And it's Allen serve. A-L-L-E-N. A-L-L-E-N. Yes, yes.
Never to be any confusion.
Williams tapping.
On a roll. On a roll. Just feeling it. No one to hit cross court, through the seam, down the line, and then throwing the little roll shot.
So Ricky Ludes and Team Foot Locker trying to spring the upset on Coca-Cola here in our first match of the evening. Don't forget Kent Steffes and Kart Chikarai coming up as Gaspar, who had a great dump shot, the left-hand dump while he was at Penn State. He's always been terrific at that.
A very good athlete, very quick, jumps well, but the key is the pass. You have to pass the ball right on top of the net so the setter can throw the ball down quickly.
So the Hav, the other Hav. There's Tim the Hav, and there's Javier the Hav. There's Javier the Hav, and Buck. Gaspar again. Ludes. Oh, what a block by Timmons.
Keeping his hands up once again.
And Coca-Cola going to get a break here. Gaspar's glasses are off. Dodd. 29-29 in case you're keeping score at home. Right side, Williams. Yes! Jeff Williams, unconscious. 14 kills for Willie.
On fire again, drifting to his right, and then hammering the ball back across his body. Craig Buck usually doesn't let that shot go by.
29-29. And Mike Dodd tapping it inside.
Craig Buck back to serve for Coca-Cola. The score still tied at 29. Towing the service line. He will rush to the net to block. 4 big blockers up there for Coca-Cola.
And AJ snaps it through. So Adam Johnson now has 12 kills. Great balance for Foot Locker. Jeff Williams with 14, Johnson with 12. Everybody else, Ludes, Salmons. Foot Locker was pretty comfortable right off the bat, and Coca-Cola getting better.
Well, they got off to a good start. The only time Foot Locker did not play well was when they hurt themselves. And right now, blocking once again. Tom Duke disappeared for a while, but now getting his head right back into the game. And Steve Salmon's been solid throughout. Mature player, very experienced, match point.
Salmons with 6 stuff blocks, looking for 7 to end it. Timmons, yes. Steve Timmons coming in alone on Duke. 13 kills all of a sudden for Red Sandpaper, as Paul Sunderland referred to him. 30-29.
Used to be. Now he's getting back to be the Red.
Buck, Timmons, and the A-bomb. What kind of a combination is that? Lethal.
TBA. Should be TBS. To be stuffed. 3 big ones, and Adam Johnson with no place to go.
30-30. Oh, the ball went through Buck's hands. It might have been a little wet coming off the arms.
No, I'll tell you what happened. Buck is a back row player. He cannot hit the overpass. Yep. He was indecisive just for a split second. Reminded of the rules, he had to pass that ball first.
You know what he should have just done is ream it.
Crank
just
it,
ream it and hope that nobody sees you. You don't wear armbands, so occasionally you can sneak by with that. Ball is dug up. Foot Locker looking for a point, and they get it. Adam Johnson. Oh, what a game to lose for Coca-Cola. Coke had 4 chances to put this game away, and now Foot Locker has match point. Dennis Klein, Peter Ashley, the coaching staff, loving it right now. They've turned it around. Roger Clark hasn't sniffed yet. I think he still gets some money, doesn't he, Paul?
He gets the same as everybody else.
Yeah, so he's resting up for the party afterwards. Doesn't want to wear himself out. This is match point. Timmons. Got it. Steve Timmons.
Finding a way to get the ball through. Just so much experience, not ripping the ball at one of the blockers, finding the seam.
And so Mike Dodd will serve it up. Paul told you how he leapfrogged into 4th place. He leapfrogged right over Brian Lewis, Johnson, Powers, Smith, Stoklos, and Ludes. With a big performance at the King of the Beach. Looking for Timmons to tie. Not yet. 31-30. Allen. Boy, he got a slow start, but the kid from Hawaii now drilling it.
Unloading on the right side. Didn't say much to demand the ball from Javier Gaspar. You really got to talk to your setter, but Allen warming it up here.
Tied at 31. Well, 2 of the nicest 3 people in the history of volleyball are playing in this match. Allen and Reed Sunahara, 2 of the greatest guys. I would include Pono Ma'a, the other 3rd Hawaiian. We'll see him in the next match. But I can't think of 3 nicer fellows.
Very nice gentlemen. Yeah.
Gaspar, shot, score. Javier Gaspar. Boy, he was up high. You know, he was born in a setter's body, but he wanted to be a hitter when he came out of the womb. Didn't he?
Well, he can sky. Look at him going right over the top of Duke and Salmons.
Williams got it. So Jeff Williams gets the kill, now his 15th kill.
Player of the game so far. He's been solid passing and really carrying the load offensively for Foot Locker when they've needed to get out of trouble.
Tied at 31.
That's not going to get hit.
Well, Allen seems to have the karma right now.
Just poked at the block. That ball was set low. Look, he's talking to himself right now. He and Javier Gaspar got to get in a much better rhythm with one another, and they should be. They practice together all the time.
4 hours a day, 5 days a week. They're connecting now, and Allen will serve. Williams. Say, I remember an incident back in 1986 when Jeff Williams was a junior at UCLA. He was working as a busboy in the Malibu Chart House. He got an argument with one of the preparers of food, got an argument with him, and the guy pulled a knife on him. And Jeff Williams said, "Give me the knife." And the guy stabbed him in the wrist and cut open some tendons. He had about 14 stitches as play continues. And Jeff Williams has made, obviously, a full recovery. But in those days, you know, you don't attack a food preparer that doesn't speak English, has got a knife and trying to stab you. Give me the knife. And he cut his hand open. And then the next year afterwards, 1987, he led UCLA to the national championship. So he's really matured. 32-31, the ball pounded down the middle.
And I imagine this was not a paring knife. This was a Bowie knife.
Almost like a big knife, like, you know, give me the knife. And the guy did.
But did he get his tips that night?
Hit the tips of his fingers. 32-31. Try explaining that to Al Skates. Buck with the set, and Dodd with the kill. And Salmon saying Buck netted. Ludy saying Buck netted. Everybody saying Buck netted, and Buck saying, yeah, I probably did, but nobody saw it.
Nobody saw it, so let's go. Play on.
It's a great game, too. Foot Locker and Coca-Cola.
Serving the wrong guy. Jeff Williams passing nail.
Sunahara, no touch. Coca-Cola now has a chance. Put it away.
I'd throw in a short serve right here on Steve Salmons or somebody else. Adam Johnson and Jeff Williams passing the ball very well. How about a short serve?
Foot Locker won game 1. And are they taking time out? Roger Clark coming in for Reed Sunahara. So Clark is in, getting a chance. Clark is wearing number 3. Will they set him? Yes. And he hits it directly out of bounds. What a tough spot. Clark comes in cold off the bench, gets the set, and Coca-Cola wins it. In overtime, game 2, 34-32. We'll be back game 3 after this. Back at the Great Western Forum, Team Cup Volleyball. Foot Locker won game 1, Coca-Cola game 2. An interesting substitution at the end of game 2. Denny Clark took out Reed Sunahara, put in Roger Clark, and on match point, they set him. Paul, would you have done this?
The key is, where does the pass go? Roger passes the ball okay, but you got to try to go someplace else. Never got any liftoff, came in stone cold. Roger's responsibility to be warm, come in ready to go. But Ricky Ludes has got to find a way to get the ball to somebody other than Roger Clark, even if you have to throw it into Steve Salmons or take it into your own hands. Although the ball wasn't passed that well, his options were limited. And because there's no 3-meter line, but 4-meter line, it's pushed back here in Team Cup Volleyball. Back row hitting not a factor. So you can't set Roger Clark in that situation.
Foot Locker got off to a great start, but Coca-Cola becoming more and more organized. You look at Coca-Cola taking the lead in kills, although they still trail blocking-wise.
And surprising. You'd think Steve Timmons, the likes of Craig Buck, would lead in blocking. I think they'll get a lot better. They need to block with 4 big guys up there. Taking over in terms of the defense, but only marginally. Service error is really not a factor. But look at the hitting errors. That's really been the kiss of death for Coca-Cola, the beginning of both games, but they somehow squeaked out towards the end of game 2. Got to eliminate the errors here. This is a very, very quick game in game 3.
Game 3, a little different change in the format. Game 3 is only to 11 points, Paul Sunderland. The freeze comes at 7, a little change from last year.
Well, you just cannot commit unforced errors. You've got to block balls. You got to make big plays early. Again, the freeze point is at 7. Until we get to that point, a point will be scored every time the ball's put in play.
So here we go. Foot Locker in blue, Coca-Cola in red. And as the points rack up, Sunahara back in. I think he was just a little tired at the end of that game. In Team Cup, you hit and block all night long. There's no rest for the weary. Gaspar. Nice shot by Mike Dodd. Keep in mind, Coca-Cola playing tonight shorthanded. Their #1 reserve, Alan Knipe, has a broken finger. So he's out. He can't help. Literally short-fingered. And, of course, they're missing the great St. John Smith, who certainly could help out, who had a scheduling conflict. Over the top, nicely done. The back set. Steve Salmons getting another kill. He has 6 kills, but more importantly, he has 6 stuff blocks.
That's a big night. That is a big night blocking-wise. Very solid fundamentally and still getting up and very quick.
Left side, Dodd against 3. And 4 contacts, and Billy, our redhead, just took a facial. Let's hope he's okay.
No disgraceful. He didn't go down. Got to be ready when you're out here working the floor at Team Cup Volleyball or any place else. They're flying around.
Got to be prepared. Timmons, Sunahara has it. Right side, Johnson, and he puts it away.
That was a good set. Very good set by Ricky Ludes. Game very up and down on the beach in terms of just going to one position or the other, but Ludes really dishing the ball around the court well.
Nice pass, Gaspar, whip it over to Timmons. Sada was right on his back. And another put away. Adam Johnson loves the right side. Randy Stokos right now, if he's watching, wherever his scheduling commitment, he should call Adam Johnson and say, let's play on the beach next summer, because AJ can do it on the right. We're coming back. 5-1. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, and animated Dennis Klein talking to his Foot Locker team. They've jumped out here in game 3, 5-1. Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. First match, first night of Great Western Bank Team Cup Volleyball. Once again, the season is here, 4 nights. And Jeff Williams and Foot Locker trying to wrap it up here. We're going to 11 here in game 3. Each team has won 1 game. Coca-Cola really has to rack it up right now. They can't make any more mistakes.
Well, this quick game, you cannot make unforced errors. And Foot Locker has been making the good plays, playing good defense. Adam Johnson converting from the right side, hitting high flat. But Eric Sato and Javier Gaspar got to start playing some defense.
Little float knuckler. Ludes jacks it back over. And Salmons is under the net. I think Salmons thought he was getting it. Went for Coke.
Ricky Ludes got up high, torqued in the air, back set the ball, and he and Salmons just got tangled into the net.
We said Beefy and Brawny Bruins, when they run into each other, there's like 2 elephants exploding.
2 semis at the 405 and the 10 freeway. And if you're not familiar with Los Angeles, that's a busy interchange, and so is the middle of any high-level volleyball court. Lots of patterns running through. Adam Johnson isolated on the right, and once again the tool shot down the line. 15 kills for Adam Johnson. Like Jeff Williams.
Nice dig. Timmons off Salmons' nose. And AJ has it. Foot Locker. That was a terrible set. Nobody ready, and Coke blocks it back. So a point for Coca-Cola. Once again, point per play scoring until 7 points. 6-4 Foot Locker. Coke still has a shot here.
Oh, they're in this. They just got to make a couple of plays. Serve the ball better. Adam Johnson, Jeff Williams have been passing right on the dime.
Sato with a dig. Timmons. Not yet. Oh, in the open spot on defense. Javier Gaspar had vacated, looking to set that one. And Coca-Cola. And they are saying, wait, something is wrong.
Well, Tom Duke hit the ball and questioning whether or not he was a front court or back court player. If he's a back court player, that's a violation.
Well, he looks like a front row guy now.
He is. Well, he is.
Gaspar to puck. And it's off his hands, out of bounds. Another point for Foot Locker. So Foot Locker closing in on this first match. Don't forget, coming up next, Team Paul Mitchell and Kent Steffes against Team Toyota, driven by Karch Karai. Stay with us. 8-4, could be 9-4. No, AJ dinks it into the middle of the net.
Write that one down. Big unforced errors. You've got the big lead. A very tentative swing from the left side by Adam Johnson.
8-5. Williams on the pass. Coke needs this one right here. They need some fizz. And A-Bomb gives it to him. Allen has been spectacular about midway through game 1 all the rest of the way.
As soon as Allen was no longer forced to continually hit balls from the left side, and this one's coming right into your easy chair. Allen through the hole in the block.
8-6 as Tom Duke puts one down. Both teams frozen now at 8-6. So you have to serve to score a point now. Let's see if AJ goes for the jump serve. Nope, going with the floater. I have to ask him why. No jump serving tonight.
Bad pass.
Pretty good set. Allen, did he get it up? Oh, no. 4 contacts. Bobby Clark says point for Foot Locker.
The problem with Coca-Cola is they don't have consistently the one player on the left side, off the bad pass, off the dig, who can put the ball away. Adam Johnson and Jeff Williams have been very, very good on the outside.
So AJ sporting the wedgie cut. And timeout taken by Coca-Cola. So AJ, he goes to the same barber, in case you missed our beach volleyball telecast, as Steve Timmons down in San Diego. Usually has his visor on and his sunglasses, but that is the wedge cut, and we see that popping up in a number of beach volleyball cities. Guys going with the wedgie.
Lots of lookalikes. What's the barber's name in San Diego? I forgot.
Edward Scissors Hands.
Well, he should patent the looks and then sell the rights to the wedgie and the flat top. I guess the flat top you can't do, but the wedgie's a new one.
There's Timmons.
Timmons is not really a flat top when it's in full form. It's more like a flat skyscraper.
Remember, he's coming off the bald-headed performance. It was he who persuaded all the other USA players to shave their heads. Bob Samuelson, he'll be coming up next. He didn't have to, of course, and he was the barber. Bob the barber. He did a good job, too. He got him real nice and clean. Allen put it away. Now Coca-Cola needs to serve tough and get Buck, Timmons, and Dodd blocking.
Serve a ball short. You don't want to lob the ball right to Adam Johnson or Jeff Williams. Take Foot Locker out of their good passing. I serve Tom Duke short, but Allen, when you're that far behind the baseline, you lose accuracy. Move up right up to the baseline and serve Tom Duke short.
This is just match 1 of a doubleheader.
Here's the short serve, but Adam Johnson able to get his hands on it.
Tom Duke going right over the top. So the Dukester now with 8 kills, and he'll go back the most valuable player on the 4-man tour. 2-man, 6-man, 4-man, the NCAA Player of the Year at USC. Buck snaps one through. You know, Craig told me he's got a new invention. Craig is always working on something. It's an anti-theft prevention device. It's a baseball bat with a flashlight in it. How's that sound like to you? It's got a flashlight in the nozzle. So you take the bat downstairs. It's the ball put away by Jeff Williams. It's actually a pretty good idea.
Absolutely.
You take the baseball bat, just, you know, playing night baseball. You
Wrigley
go down
Field,
there,
you love it.
You see anybody, you tee off. You swing for the fences. Then call for the trainer.
Dial 911.
Ricky Ludes. See if we can take a look at that thing. Oh, and a big block. Duke on Buck. So Tom Duke, the 4th chance for match point for Foot Locker. They had 3 in game 2. Left side, Sato. Touch. Nice shot by the E. And so now Buck will serve. Can you imagine Craig Buck coming down the stairs with that bat in his hand? Flashing it at you. Look, get out of here. Ludes. And Coke can score a point. They should score a point right here. 10-6. Now 10-7.
Just one final point on the illuminated bat. When you're coming down the stairs and you got your lit bat, is the burglar supposed to be blind so he doesn't see this flashlight coming down and doesn't shoot you on your way down the stairs? It's the one point that I just kind of don't get in all of that.
Ball scooped up at Timmons, wraps it down. I think the idea is you go down with the bat so you're not carrying like a flashlight and a bat. So if a guy does not have a gun, say he has a knife, you whack the crap out of him. You whack the crap out of him. And
how about a
some new
flashlight
batteries
on top of an AK-47?
8 serving 10. Foot Locker, every time it gets the ball now, has match point. Coca-Cola trying to hang on. Nice dig, rebounding over. Tight set, big tight. Oh, and through the hands. I'm not sure who got it. It was blocked. Did it go through Ludes' hands? I think it did.
Ludes was there on the cover, and Coca-Cola back within 1. This is a smart shot. Free ball coming back, and Steve.
Oh, and the shank left side. Coca-Cola will get a chance to tie it up right here.
Allen hitting left. Timmons hitting quick.
Dink. Salmon's chasing. He has it. Gaspar, Sato, score!
Hockey season is almost upon us. It was indeed a score.
Sunderland and Marlowe pick Coca-Cola. They've come back from the dead all of a sudden.
Just tantalizing here. Eric Sato hitting hard off Ricky Ludes. A couple of marvelous defensive plays during the course of that match. Rally, I should say.
It's win by 2. Coca-Cola was down 10-6.
Good short serve.
Williams. Gaspar, they're chasing, they can't get there. Side out. 10-10, win by 2. Shank, scooping it up, Sato, rejected. 2 Bruins in the Dukester. Stuffing it down, now 11-10. 5th match point for Foot Locker. That's it, Timmons. They block him. This could be it.
Adam Johnson
for the match.
On the right.
Oh, big block. Jay Johnson has been sneaking it down the line a couple of times. Buck was all over that.
You could see Adam Johnson swinging out. Smart set. This one, actually, Adam Johnson turns back inside at the big blocker.
11-10. Sunahara rejected.
Allen on the outside with Craig Buck, identifying the hitters. Reed Sudahara on the left. Moody's is the setter. You got to watch for the dump, and Tom Duke.
Sato snapping into the net. One of the most entertaining Team Cup volleyball matches, as we said earlier, in our 7th year. I can't remember one that has been
best first match I can ever remember into the 7th year. The players are used to the format and playing very, very well.
We're tied up at 11. Win by 2.
Dodd passing well.
And Timmins spiking with heat. Timmins now with 17 kills. He also has 3 stuff blocks.
Don't think the Achilles bothers Steve Timmins quite as much when he's hitting quick. Running straight lines, doesn't have to change direction quite so much. Bombing here.
Sato looking for a point to Timmins, and he puts it away. Steve Timmins and Coca-Cola. First match point for Coca-Cola.
They were flat, they were dead in the can, and have come all the way back, and now with a chance to win.
Ludi's
could be it. Oh, no.
And it is. Coca-Cola. Can Sunderland and Marlowe pick a winner? They come back. They were down 10-6 in game 3, and they needed some help from Foot Locker. Foot Locker, quite honestly, gave them the game. Coca-Cola wins it by 2. So Timmins and Allen and the gang winning, and will continue. Foot Locker, it appeared, had this one put away 30-26. They lost a squeaker in game 2. They had 5 match points, and they gag it away at the end, 13-11. For Coca-Cola, our prime network player of the match, the A-bomb. He went off just at the right time. Allen with Sunderland.
All right, thanks very much, Chris. And when you've got a name that implies detonation, you got to come through. Allen, no secret, you guys were terrible at the beginning of that match. What turned it around for you?
I think we just needed a little time to get used to the format. For most of us, like for myself, I'm a rookie. So it took us a little while to get used to it. And as the game went on, we got accustomed to one another. And, you know, we just hung in tough. I mean, we made the plays that we needed when it counted. And some plays went on for our side.
Did it help you a lot? You know, you look next to you and you've got Craig Buck, and you look on the other side, you've got Steve Timmins, players who've not only accomplished everything in volleyball, but are very familiar with this format. Did that settle down players like yourself and Javier Gaspar, who's playing in this format for the first time?
Without a doubt. I mean, those guys on my left and right, I mean, they've been the best in the world. And when you have that type of caliber of players, it just makes myself and the young guys play a lot better. And we did it.
Well, you know, one of the problems I thought you were having was on the left side. You and Javier Gaspar not connecting very well to the left side. You were moved over to the right, and since that point in time, that change seemed to really help your game. You were siding out much better.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit on the left because my timing was off, and we just weren't in sync on the left side. So I told Jav move me to the right because it gave me a little bit more time to see the blockers, and it worked.
Are you better on the right side? You more comfortable over there?
You know, when you play good, you like to say. So since we won, I would have to say, yeah.
Whichever side you're putting the ball away from, it becomes your favorite side.
Exactly.
All right, congratulations to you. Your first night of Team Cup volleyball. First night as our player of the match. Allen, our player of the match. We'll be back with you at the Great Western Forum with a very special guest here on the first night of Team Cup volleyball. Back after a short timeout.